Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is called My Writing and I, and this video is coming from a content challenge by Jo Linsdell. She's a fellow AuthorTuber, and I met her on the AuthorTube Facebook group, and she's doing these weekly content challenges. And every week on Tuesday, she will post a blog post on her website, which I'm going to link in the comments below. And she has a video challenge for that week. And this week is to talk about you and your books. But because I haven't published any books, I'm just going to talk about my writing and my works in progress. So let's get started. Okay, so my first work that I'm going to talk about is what I've been working on during Camp Nano, which is my, zombie novel. I'm still working on that aspect of it. So that work came from a writing prompt that I did, I want to say, like 4 years ago. I was running a writing group, and the writing prompt literally just said the Titanic plus zombies, and I think I actually have it. Let's see. The original. This binder's enormous. I keep all of my writing prompts because, like, to me, you just never know if it has the potential to be more, so I don't get rid of everything. I'm literally looking at things from when I was in high school. And there we go. My dog needs to be taken out, so 1 second. Okay, so while I was letting my dog out, I did find it. I must have taken it out and put it with what I was working on. So, I wonder if I have the actual prompt. There's so much stuff here. No, but this is basically like what it started out as, and then I literally I have all these notes, plot points, and I don't even know what this is. February 2016. That is how long I've been working on this. So 2 years. Not 4. Okay. Well, anyway. So I've been working on this novel for a long time, and it just simply came from a writing prompt. And I'm learning so much about the novel, and it's definitely not what it started out as. If you've been watching my Camp Nano videos, then you know that I did make the decision to make this novel into, instead of just a standalone novel, an actual trilogy. So what I've been working on lately is just plotting things out, and I think what I'm finding a lot easier now that I have a more clear direction of where this novel is going to go. I've just been working on plotting the beginning, middle, and end of the entire story. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a 3-act structure And this is why I wanted to do 3 books, not 4, because I personally like the 3-act structure, and I think it will just be easier it's my dog. Hold on. Sometimes Pudge needs to be reminded of what his quiet time toys are. So anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm creating a very broad 3-act structure that's going to be for the overall what I want the story to be from book 1 to book 3. And I'm doing this because there are so many different elements that I want in the book, so many historical facts that I need just to make the book believable. So having just an outline of the entire story and broken down to Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 is really going to help me figure out how each book is going to go. Because if I know what the story is going to be about and the direction I want to take the story, then I know what I have to do in each book, because each book will be a different act. So in Act 1, there are certain things that need to happen for, Act 2 to make sense and for Act 3 to make sense. So I think in doing a larger 3-act structure for not only the individual books but the entire series itself is really going to help me see everything. I don't want to say see everything, but at least get a better idea of what the story is going to look like when it's completely finished. And this will also help me then write each book, because now I know, well, this book also has to have a 3-act structure, but within, the Act 1 of the story, if that makes sense. So what I've chosen to do is, obviously each book has to have its own beginning, middle, and end, because it is a book and it should read as one, but it also has to, I guess you can think of it as the entire series itself is my A plot line, and then each book has its own plot line that is going to help the A plot line make sense to the readers. So that's how I'm thinking of it, and that's how I'm organizing and structuring like the series and then each book. And I'm finding that it is bringing like so much clarity, because now I know like, okay, well, this book has to have this, and it's making it easier for me to write when I do it this way. So I'm really happy that through journaling and just sitting down and like hashing out ideas, that I figured this out, because I was definitely really stuck. And not even like plot wise, because plot wise I have a general idea of how I want the entire story to be, like what I want the beginning and end to at least be. The middle, still up in the air, couldn't even tell you right now. But everything else, I have a vague idea. Now, doesn't mean that like it's set in stone. Like, just because I write this outline, I could probably be like, I hate this, and change it tomorrow. But I hope that's not the case, because it is a lot of work. I think this method is really working for me, because I was definitely getting a little discouraged with the whole outlining process, because I just didn't see the story that was in my head. So with this new revelation of outlining, I'm now seeing things come together and things line up the way I envisioned them prior to like putting all this down on paper. So that is my first work in progress. It doesn't really have a title. I think when I first started the whole thing, I initially named the story The Unsinkable, because it was going to be geared around the Titanic. The neighbors came out, so my dog barked. So that's why I named it that. I don't know if that's gonna continue to be the name. The other thing I'm working on is, what are you doing? Is character names. I'm kind of really torn with like naming my characters for this one. So I think the more I write, the more I'll get to know this character and the easier it will be to name them. And the other thing that I'm starting to figure out is what point of view I want to write it in. Because when I started, where's that piece of paper? I believe it was third person I started writing in. Couldn't even tell you. Here it is. Yeah, so, and this is called The Titanic, and in parentheses, How It Really Sank. So it's still a working title, clearly. But this is written in third person. I don't know. I really don't know if I want to keep it in third person. I really don't know if you can see, but my dog is like right here. Like I can touch his little face. I don't have a viewfinder on this camera, so I don't know what's like what's in focus, but he's just breathing on me. So clearly wants to be a part of this video. So my next work in progress that it's kind of been pushed aside, there's this other prompt that we did. I still have everything out in the last one that I showed you. And it's somewhere. Maybe not. Alright, so we'll talk about this one. So this one I wrote in high school. Literally 2010. I'm going to show you. 2010. Now, it's not a terrible story. It's actually, pretty, there's a beginning, middle, and end. It's solid. But I definitely, like, this story, I have so many ideas from. But the one with what I'm torn between on this story is keeping it, well, obviously not keeping, wrong word, reworking it into an actual, because it's only like 4 pages, but an actual short story and making it a part of an anthology. This one's about the fear of clowns, because I am terrified of clowns. So I guess that might have been the prompt. I don't know. It was in 2010. It was my senior year in high school. But I do really like the basis of this story. I do really like the just the idea of it. So there are 2 ways that I was either going to go with it. Either it was going to become like a full-length novel and just be like a standalone novel, or it was going to be an anthology of just different short stories about different fear-based, like just phobias, I guess. Fear-based phobias, which is just a phobia. So this one would be like C for clowns or whatever. Whether I was going to go by like the name of the phobia or the just like fear of spiders or whatever. I think I might, I don't know. So that one is still up in the air. I really don't know what I want to do with it, but there's definitely like potential for that story to grow and either be its own novel or within an anthology. I even considered putting it in an anthology because I do really like the idea of having because I was going to do from A to Z, so I would have like 26 short stories. And to me, that idea was just super fun, something that I would totally, love to do. And especially because you don't have to go in order. Like, it's just a whole bunch, it's like new characters all the time, new settings, and you're just starting over. So that's definitely an option. And then the other option was I would do the anthology and have basically like maybe like the first chapter of like this story in the anthology, and then also have it as a standalone. Options. There's always options. So that will be my second work in progress that is really taking a backseat because I am really focusing on this Titanic zombie shenanigans, I don't even know what to call it, novel that I'm working on. Trilogy, to be fact. But that would be the next thing I would consider working on after these 3 books were done. Or maybe even in between books, just to like break up the monotony of just writing one story. Because I do get kind of, not bored, but sometimes like discouraged when I'm just writing one story, and I do like to have multiple things like open, and just to be able to give my brain a rest from writing one story so that it can be open to ideas to further grow that story. I find it very useful to like either write other stories or read or just do something else creative. Because when I'm not writing or like working to be a published author, I do have another business, because writing is, being an author is its own business. You have to network, you have to grow your platform and write. So to me, like, I think of it as like it's a business. I sit down and I work because I'm working towards, a goal and to bring a product to people. And my other business is a baking business that's home-based, and so I do that as well. I just recently did a street fair on Friday, and that was super fun. I've never done one before. I've never like sold to like that many people, and it was definitely so exciting, and it just made me love the business even more. And I've been working in a commercial kitchen because Pennsylvania's cottage food law does not allow me to sell in my home as long as I have a free roaming dog, and since he has access to the kitchen, I won't get approved by the health department. So that is the goal for when I buy a house, to have a separate kitchen, a separate area where Pudge just doesn't go. And so I could work from home because that would, really reduce my overhead, because like right now I'm paying to rent that kitchen and it's like $25 an hour. And for something like a street fair, I was there for 6 hours on Friday and then 4 hours on Thursday night. So, but it was fun. It was a learning experience. I learned so much. I got to hand out my business cards to people, which was so much fun. And, just the idea of just growing my business to that level, to, just being able to use it as like steady income is just like basically one of my dreams, aside from being a published author. But I do really want to be able to do my baking business and like have my author platform be just my 2 forms of income. Because right now I am a traveling home health aide. But, so yeah. So let's get on to my third work in progress. Third work in progress, I can't find it in my binder, which is weird because I know it's here. I saw it the other day. But, oh no, it's right here. I like. So I had this writing prompt. I don't know if it's in here. I hope it is. But I made a cover page for this story. I legitimately like made a cover page, and then in the back there's like, oh, I don't know. There's no date on this. Oh, I lied. 7/20/14, I guess, is when I started not even brainstorming, but this right here is the actual like original writing prompt. I don't know what the writing prompt was, but I do know that it's about a little girl who becomes a serial killer. I feel like that's not the best word. Let's see. I really enjoy reading about serial killers and the criminally insane. I have a lot of books on them. I'll show you. Really, the amount of books I have on serial killers is kind of... So I have this one that I got at the Strand. It's called the Autobiography of Jack. I haven't read this, actually. It's on my list of books to read. Haven't got around to it. I do have the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers resource. A lot of these are resources. I actually did like a whole, I think it was like 6-page essay in college about why America has more serial killers than any other country, which is true. I think, what was it, like, as of like last year, there were like 3,000 known serial killers in the United States, and like the next, like number 2 to us is like the United Kingdom with a solid 200. So I have this one, which is, this one goes back like pretty far. All these are just really great resources because I do write like thrillers and horror. So I use these really to just make my main villain or like main character just more believable. I feel like the more research you do and the more you know, the more sound your book is going to be, because then you will be less likely to write plot holes. Because I have read like some YA books where there was a serial killer in it, and like it just wasn't believable. And I think a lot of it's because look at all the books I have. Like, I literally have the Jack the Ripper case files and his diary. I've had this book since 8th grade. But, and then I got this book for Christmas from my friend. But I love collecting resources, especially on the genres that I'm going to write in, especially like if my character is going to be like anything like these individuals, which, you know, a great horror story, you need a great villain, and what greater villain is there than a serial killer demonizing a town? I mean, it's pretty up there on villains. But so that's really it for who I am as a person and as a writer, and the stories that I will be writing and hopefully putting out there for you guys to read. I had so much fun doing this video and just telling you guys about me and about my stories that I'm creating for you guys. So if you want to take part in this challenge, I will post the link to her video where she talks about her books and who she is as a writer, as well as her blog, so that you can follow, you know, the challenges. She's going to post one every Tuesday with the video, and then you just, you know, you make your own video and get creative, and then post the link on the comment section of the actual blog post so that she can watch it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. I do post new videos every Sunday and Wednesday, and I look forward to making more content. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye!